Hello there, everybody, and today I'm here to review Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. I was not expecting this to come out, but I was wondering what we were going to get next for Lucasfilm Animation, and with its 20th anniversary, I gotta say, this is definitely better than Tales of the Empire, but I definitely prefer Tales of the Jedi a lot more over this one, but we finally get answers about Asajj Ventress in this story arc, and we get some answers about Cad Bane and his origin. We basically get a 2-story arc with these characters, 3 episodes, and I feel like I like the Ventress one a lot more than the Cad Bane one, but we might as well discuss it. So, if you don't know, originally, in the Bad Batch last year, Ventress showed up, and we were wondering, how did she come back to life? We thought she died in the book Dark Disciple, which was originally going to be a Clone Wars episode that got canceled, but it was put into a book, and if you don't know, Ventress dies at the end of that book, and she's buried in it, in the Daphomir's graveyard. But it turns out in this show we get basically the ending of Dark Disciple. And it's nice to see that small section of the book, the end of the book, in television vision format. But apparently, I knew this was coming, but Ventress comes back to life through Night Sister magic. She's given another chance of life by Mother Talzin. I don't know if she's dead in the continuity, because she dies in Son of Dathomir. I think that probably happens after this arc, like the first moment of this arc. But we flash forward to during the rise of the Empire. Ventress is now working with some lady, and she's basically the bodyguard for if someone wants to get a bus ticket to get out of the planet she's on. But apparently she bumps into a Jedi. I forget his name, but I originally thought it was Petro, but his name is Liku, I think his name is. I thought he was going to be one of those Padawans from the Padawan arc of the Clone Wars. But no, this is a completely new Jedi who's apparently running from authorities. He's bumping into the Empire, who's still looking for Jedi. And it leads to Ventress and the boy to team up to get off the planet to stop the Empire from getting towards them. But apparently it doesn't go well until they bump into a new Inquisitor. Time to update the Inquisitor list, since there's so many of them. Because I remember when I did Tales of the Empire, I basically already did a Inquisitor ranking, and now we gotta update it again. But the Inquisitor fight was actually really entertaining. And the way he dies, it's brutal. Liko ends up grabbing Ventress's new yellow lightsaber, his lightsaber, and he just stabs him, and he dies. But when Ventress does reveal who she is, Liko's surprised by this news, but it leads them to go on a heist where they meet 2 bounty hunters. I think I remember her name. But it's this lady. She's from the Clone Wars, and this droid. Sorry, I'm not good at names, but those 2 are basically recruiting Ventress and Liku to a quest to find the information to get Liku off the planet to save his neck. But apparently they have to go on some heist, and they apparently do, but they get betrayed by the 2 bounty hunters. And Ventress has to work together with Liku to get out of that situation. But when they do get on board, Ventress threatens the bounty hunters, and they basically give her the information, dropping them off. But that's where it leads to the next episode, where they're on some desert planet, and it is possible Quinlan Voss is on the planet. It was also nice to see Quinlan Voss in this episode with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan doesn't say anything, but you actually feel the moment between Voss and Ventress's love, since they do fall in love in Dark Disciple, but Ventress is hoping Voss is there, but they bump into some farmers who are looking for some water, but apparently they're going to get helped out to get on the transport to get off the planet by looking for the water. But apparently when they do bump into other, I think, people on the planet, it leads to a battle between some farmers, Ventress, and it turns out the old man they met up with and his granddaughter, apparently the ones that sent Ventress, apparently they were stealing the water the whole time. But I like the change in Ventress's arc, where she goes from a brutal Sith assassin, bounty hunter, to someone having some compassion towards Liku, and the two even tease each other while taking a ride on the planet. But when they do get their resources, when everything works out, Ventress does say goodbye to Liku, but he decides to change his mind. He doesn't want to go on the transport for the other Jedi. He decides to become a sort of apprentice to Ventress. Ventress isn't really on board with it, but she goes along with it anyway, and the two go off into the sunset. So this could set up potential for Ventress to return. I'm hoping she returns in the Darth Maul show. I feel like she's the perfect opportunity to be in that show. She'd probably be an enemy for Maul to encounter, but we'll just have to wait and see. But this arc was definitely decent. I was kind of expecting a lot more. I was hoping we'd get what Clone Voss is up to during the Rise of the Empire era. The Inquisitor fight was decently fun. I do like Liku the New Jedi. I hope we see him more. Ventress's return was really awesome. The actress is still really good as Ventress. It's awesome that these characters are still able to voice them all these years later, which is really nice. But I'd probably give this arc a 7 out of 10. But the next arc is the Cad Bane arc. So originally when I saw it, I didn't even think it was Cad Bane. But apparently this is about Cad Bane's childhood, and we never really saw that. It's honestly wild that we are getting that story, since even in the Darth Maul comic book, we do see Cad Bane in there, but he's already a bounty hunter. So this could take place before the Phantom Menace, since we don't even know how old Cad Bane is. But apparently he had a friend, and they were sort of like brothers, but they cause mischievous things. They would steal stuff in their little small village area, and they would get yelled at by various people on the planet. But it isn't until they meet up with some guy that kind of looks like Cad Bane. I originally thought it was Cad Bane, like a younger him, but no, it's just someone that looks like him. But apparently the two are set up to steal something, and it leads to a big chase in this episode. But apparently Cad Bane is able to get away, and he leaves his brother behind. I'm sorry, I'm looking up the names again. I think his name is Bleak. Yeah, Bleak. He leaves Bleak behind, causing Bane to grow up to become a merciful bounty hunter. But we also learned he had a love interest and also gave birth to a son later in the arc. It's actually, it somewhat shows Cad Bane could have had potential to be good. He could have had a wife. He could have had a kid. They could have raised the son to be good. But Bleak ended up raising the son, and it leads to a sort of brawl between Cad Bane and Bleak. But the two do bump into each other the next episode, which takes place years later. And Cad is more like a naive gangster. But apparently, once he puts on that hat, he becomes a changed man, a ruthless, coldless bounty hunter. But the last two episodes are definitely fine, but it leads to a duel between the two, and Cad Bane literally kills his old friend all these years later, leaving the son without a father. So I jumped a lot, but this arc was all right. I don't know if we really needed to see a Cad Bane's origin, but it was nice seeing it. But is there potential for Cad Bane to return? Probably. He'll probably show up in the Darth Maul show, since this show kind of does set up a gritty crime show for Darth Maul, since he runs the crime syndicate. We can see where it comes from in Solo all the way to where he shows up in Rebels. So I'm hoping we get more, but so far this arc of the show was all right. Like, it was just kind of short stories put in like one show. I don't know if they're gonna do more Tales of series. It would be nice if we got Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Rebellion, Tales of the Droids. Like, people come up with various titles for the Tales series, but this arc, like I said, it's all right. Sorry if I repeated myself, but overall, I am looking forward to the future of Star Wars. I'm going to review Andor Season 2's finale, which I have a lot to say about. But I'm definitely going to review the Darth Maul show when it comes out in 2026. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.